Hello students, dear students, in this video we will start the actual syllabus, the unit third of the syllabus. The name of the unit third is Measure of Central Tendency and Variation. We have already seen the concept of measure of central tendency in previous lecture. Now we are going to see actually the definition of measure of central tendency and some properties of measure of central tendency along with requisites for a good measure of central tendency. So first we see measure of central tendency according to Croxton and Cowden. An average means what? An average is a single value within the range of the data that used to represent all the values in the series. Measure of central tendency or an average is a single value within the range of the data, means that lies within the largest and smallest value of the data, which is used to represent the whole set of the data. This is one definition of given by Croxton and Cowden. Next property, measure of central tendency is a single value that represents the whole data. This is a single value that represents the whole data. Also, this measure of central tendency lies at the center of the data when data is arranged in ascending or descending order. So this is called the measure of central tendency. See that this measure of central tendency or an average lies within the range of the data, so it is called measure of central value. These are some properties of measure of central tendency. Now we are going to see some requisites for measure of central tendency. So first see that there are mainly three types of measure of central tendencies or averages, that are mean, median and mode. In the upcoming lecture we will see the detail, the mean, the median and the mode. The concept of mean, concept of median and concept of mode, also along with some examples based on these three averages. These are the mainly three types of measure of central tendencies. Okay, a good measure of central tendency should possess the following characteristics. That is, which measure of central tendency is good? So that measure of central tendency which possesses all these properties or characteristics, then that measure of central tendency is considered as a good measure of central tendency. First one is, what is the first one? It is easy to understand. So you have to easily understand, not difficult to understand, not complex to understand. Second one, easy to compute. Easy to compute. Not so many big computation is required. Simple to compute. And it must be based on all the observations. Suppose 20 observations are given, then that must be based on all the observations. We have seen in the previous video that we have calculated average, that is a mean which is based on all the observations, because we have taken sum of all the observations, all 20 students. So it is rigidly defined or uniquely defined. Means what? It is uniquely defined, its value does not changes. It is a unique, so it is called uniquely or rigidly defined. I calculated, then you calculated, we will get the same value, so that is uniquely defined, it does not changes. Then Next characteristic is possibility of further algebraic treatment. Means what? We have to do some operations. We have to do some operations. We will use that measure of central tendency for further algebraic treatment, for further conclusion. So it must be used for further algebraic treatment. And the last one, not unduly affected by extreme values. Means what? It does not affected by extreme. Extreme values means end values. In the previous lecture, the end values are, the smallest is I think 44 and the largest is 98. These are the extreme values. If we change these extreme values, then that is not much more affected. If that is not much more affected, then that is called unduly. It is not unduly affected by the extreme values. This will not affect more by changing the smallest and largest values in the data. So these are the characteristics, 6 characteristics of a good measure of central tendency. A good measure of central tendency. These are, if that measure of central tendency possesses all these characteristics, then that measure of central tendency, or in a simply average, is called good measure of central tendency. First one is easy to understand, simple to compute, based on all the observation, uniquely defined, possibility of further algebraic treatment, and it is not affected by end values, extreme values. Okay, students? Okay. Now we are going to see first measure of central tendency, or first average, that is a simple arithmetic mean, or that is called a mean. Simple arithmetic mean, that is simply called mean, arithmetic mean or simply mean. So first we have to find the or compute the arithmetic mean for a ungrouped and discrete data. Here ungrouped means what? No grouping is done, and discrete data means what? All the values are distinct values, distinct and finite values. Suppose here we have a variable x. Variable x means what? We have a variable x. Variable x in the previous lecture we have seen that the variable x is the marks of a students. So here variable x is what? X is a variable. Variable means what? Variable means a characteristic which can be expressed by a number and which changes from object to object. Variable means what? A characteristic which can be expressed by a number, numeric, that must be numeric means that can be expressed by a number, and which changes from object to object. For example, one variable is marks, because marks changes from student to student. Or take height also changes from person to person. Height, age, wages, daily wages, these are all income, profit, loss, production, all these are variables that can be expressed in terms of numbers. So these are called variables. So for the first variable we have taken ungrouped and discrete variable. For example, if you consider a marks of 20 students like 44, 46, 48, 60 and so on, this is an ungrouped data and this is a discrete data. For that data, how we have to calculate the mean? Mean is denoted by, here mean is denoted by x bar. If x is a variable, then its mean is denoted by x bar. And how this x bar is calculated? This is the sigma x or summation x divided by n. What is n? N is the number of observations. This is the formula for mean or arithmetic mean. X bar is the arithmetic mean. Summation x means what? Suppose the values of x are given, then we have to calculate sum of all the values of x divided by number of observations. In a slightly another way, if the variable x takes the n values, n distinct values, and that may be equal sometimes. Suppose the values are x1, x2, xn. Suppose the variable x takes the n values. If n is equal to 100, then the x value, then this variable x takes the 100 values. 100 observations are given. Then the mean x bar is given as summation x means what? Set sum of all the values of x. Here x takes the values x1, x2, xn. So x bar mean x bar is given as x1 plus x2, sum of all the values of x, x1 plus x2 and so on plus xn divided by n. In a short notation, this can be written as summation I equal to 1 to n xi. This is a sum and I varies from 1 to n. So how you can write this? For I equal to 1, you will get x1 plus I equal to x2 plus x3 plus x4 and the last is n. So these two notations are same. These two notations are same. This is the sum divided by n. Or in a simple notation, this can be written as, in a simple form, this can be written as simply, this can be written as summation x here. This can be written as x bar is equal to summation x divided by n. Summation x means sum of all the values of x. So consider an example. Consider an example. In that example, marks of 8 students are given and you have to calculate arithmetic mean for the following data that represents marks of 8 students in an examination. So solution, how we can calculate the arithmetic mean? This is, so it's here, this is a marks is given and this is a discrete data, no grouping is done, we have not grouped and all values are discrete values. So here n is equal to 8, number of observations, marks of 8 student is given, so n is equal to 8. Here first observation 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So n is equal to 8. The mean x bar, what is the formula for mean x bar? This is the sum of all x values. What is x here? In this data, x is marks of a student. X is nothing but marks of a student. So this is the variable. So x bar is the mean or arithmetic mean. So mean x bar is summation x divided by n. Means what? X takes these values, take sum of all these values divided by n. N is equal to 8. So we have taken the sum of 8 values, 45 plus 63 plus 77 plus 65 plus 56 plus 58 and plus 36 plus 94 divided by this 8. So this total, when you calculate, use the simple calculator to find this sum. Simple non-programmable calculator is allowed. So this total is 494 divided by 8. So mean marks of the 8 student is 61.75. So thank you student. If you have any difficulties, any doubts, you can ask. Thank you.